It was exactly 250 years ago that a unique experiment began. Not an experiment in power, not an experiment in wealth. America was an experiment in something as extraordinary as it was revolutionary. It was an experiment in liberty. The idea that a free people, not connected by ethnicity or blood, but by a set of shared ideals, would not be governed by a king, but could govern themselves. The very first words of the Declaration of Independence, familiar to all of you, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. That means these rights don't come from a king or even a government, they come from God, an ideal that the founders of America also found in the Torah, which records that every human being is created b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. This was to be a country where the citizens need not share the same religion or ancestry, rather they shared equal dignity under the law. And it's important to acknowledge that our country has had stains, as does every country. Looking back, we see remarkable achievements and failures. We celebrate expanding liberty while acknowledging times when liberty was denied. To love America is to help it become what it fully aspires to be. Tonight, though, the birthday of our nation, as Rabbi Zweibeck mentioned earlier, is celebratory. For there has been no country that rivals America for the good in so many ways. There is reason this country continues to be the place where so many wish to live. What the founding fathers gave us was articulated ideals to which generations would return: liberty, freedom, and the inherent value of its citizens. All Americans, every single American, should take time to reflect on America today at 250. And I thought most appropriately, here in our synagogue, this is a time for us as Jews to contemplate what this country has meant for our people. For much of Jewish history, our ancestors lived at the mercy of any king or emperor who changed the treatment of our people as they wished. Just think of the book of Exodus, our ancestor Joseph, who had made it very high in the world of Egypt. And then the Torah records, quote, "A new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph. And this new king, this Pharaoh, put our people in slavery." It would take too much time to list the countries that violently threw our people out. And in the rare instances where our people were accepted, we were outsiders. And then came America. For Jews, the first time in history we could become full participants in the life of a nation without giving up our Jewish identity. And what did we do with this opportunity? We built synagogues, schools, hospitals. We founded charitable organizations, businesses, universities, cultural institutions. America gave Jews freedoms our ancestors might not ever have imagined. And in turn, American Jewish immigrants and their descendants have contributed mightily to science, medicine, law, literature, music, public service, and philanthropy, all this from a scant 2.5% of the population of the United States. Jews have been a gift to America, and certainly America has been a gift to the Jews. Today, one of the most important responses as Jews to America should be gratitude. Gratitude keeps us from imagining that our blessings are inevitable. Every time we gather publicly as Jews without fear, or teach Torah openly, or our children wear a kippah or a Star of David with confidence. We participate in freedoms that millions of Jews, literally millions throughout history, could only dream about. And for that we should be thankful. All Americans should not forget the gift of America. And when it comes to memory and appreciation, Americans might learn from the Passover Seder. A central mitzvah of the Seder is to tell the story that God took us out of Egyptian bondage. Why? We retell it every year to every generation for one primary reason, because it takes only one generation who does not know its history to forget it and not pass it on to the next, and not to appreciate what God did for our people. And there are few sins worse than ingratitude. I fear today that too many in America do not know how deeply fortunate they are to be Americans, and too many around the world forget what America has done for them. America, with its errors, has been overwhelmingly a force for good in the world. Global humanitarian disaster relief, medical innovation, defeating Nazi Germany and then liberating Western Europe and then rebuilding it through the Marshall Plan, defending South Korea after it was invaded by North Korea, defending Kuwait after Iraq invaded her, dismantling ISIS in Syria, opposing the Soviet Union during the Cold War, to say nothing of the unparalleled liberty that we as citizens of this country have been afforded. President Reagan understood that this freedom is fragile and easily forgotten. In his farewell address to the nation, he said that a lack of appreciation leads to the loss of American memory and American spirit. He warned that freedom is not passed down in our blood, it must be protected and taught to each new generation or it could disappear. He said that the best lessons about America start at the dinner table, and encouraged children to ask their parents what it means to be in America. When's the last time we've had these conversations with our children, young or old, or even with friends? Reagan knew even if we do not appreciate what we have, we will not fight to keep it. Perhaps what America needs at this celebratory moment are citizens who are grateful for the privilege of liberty and appreciation of just how rare this has been in history. If you feel this way, please take it upon yourself to teach your children and others the story of the goodness of this country, so they too will fight to keep it. No country is perfect, but it is vital we do not lose sight of what America has been, what it is, and what it can become. In the words of President William Clinton, that's the permanent mission of our founding fathers. That's what they left us, moving towards a more perfect union. That means to me that the future of this country will be written not only by presidents or judges or elected officials. The future of this country will be written by neighbors who choose civility over contempt, by families who teach gratitude and responsibility, by communities that care for one another, and by citizens who remember that freedom is sustained not only by rights, but also by character. As we celebrate 250 years from the Declaration of Independence, let us remember the founders who were courageous. Many people don't know it, but in signing the Declaration of Independence, they could have been tried for treason by the British and punished with death. And let's remember all those who have since given their lives to preserve that freedom here and elsewhere, and for citizens who have made this country what it is, and those citizens who work so hard to make it what it is today. And as Jews, let us remember the opportunities afforded to us. In some ways, it's like there's a covenant between the American people, and we as Jews know the power of a covenant. It binds people together with the shared goal of liberty and of justice for everybody, a shared purpose with mutual responsibility. May we all be worthy of the gift this country has given us. And may God, who blessed our ancestors, bless this nation with wisdom, humility, justice, and peace. Amen.